Good morning, South Africa. And today you are with Pratima Smith, and today we are here with the Talitha Cumi news report at Atomic Garden Studios. And we have Teaser, and he'll be telling us basically what happens behind the scenes, as he is a scriptwriter, producer, and voiceover artist. I'd like to welcome you today. How are you? And please do tell us. I know that you go by the name of Teaser, but you just told me a brief history that actually your real name is who and so forth.
My name is Thabo Mokwena. As you've mentioned, I'm a scriptwriter, voiceover artist, etc., etc. So I work here at Atomic Garden Studios with Conley, Peter. They are sound engineers. Apparently, they are not around at the moment. They are busy with some other stuff. I just want to welcome you here at the studio. Here behind me, we've got the mixer. This is where our sound engineer sits. This is where all the sound from inside there in the booth. This is where we capture everything. This is where actually the magic happens. We sit here and get everything from that side, and then we put it together, and then it comes a sound. It doesn't matter whether it's music, songs, or radio ads, or TV ads, mining inductions. We do everything. We even specialize in installing sounds in various churches, and also in various corporate events and stuff. So can I show you inside where?
Okay, so today we will be talking basically more about the studio and how everything works behind the scenes.
Yes.
So I see there's a lot of lights.
Yes.
And it gets really confusing. I mean, I don't know anything.
Yes. This is our digital mixer. This is Island and Heath. Quite expensive. Yes. These are all the buttons that we use. Especially this one is the master volume. Yeah, I can't explain everything because of time. There are recordings that are going to happen now. All I can say, this is our mixer that we are using. We sometimes change the mixers. It depends on the product that we are going to record. Depends on an ad or whatever we are going to do. Sometimes when we do live events, we might use another mixer, maybe a digitally, or we might use another mixer.
So so far, with who have you worked with? I know you said you also use companies, you work with companies, and you also do with artists. So far, who have you worked with?
Currently we are doing Sasol Mining, we are doing Glencoe, we are doing South Deep and Harmony Gold. We are doing a lot of projects. Vodacom, I can't mention, but a lot of projects, especially gospel artists are coming, Maskandi, hip hop, kwaito, all the genres are coming to record with us. This is a professional studio, as I've mentioned to you. We are doing apparently everything. Yes.
Okay, I see also the glass, so meaning there's something on the other side of life. Yes. Please do take us on a tour there explain.
No problem. Come this side.
So now we are on the other side of the studio, and what happens this side of the studio? I know there are less lights and more mics and instruments. What happens?
Okay, this is basically our setup. As you can see, there are drums this side, there are guitars here and there, and as you can see the setup, like this microphone, there's somebody that is going to record now, a voiceover artist, so we made this setup for him. So when there are bands that are going to record something, or an artist, any artist, so this is our setup. So, but this setup doesn't stay like this. It always changes. Depends on what we are going to record.
So, in terms of having a choir for gospel, do they all fit in here?
Yes, they do fit here. They do, all of them, they do fit here. That is why I told you that it doesn't sit like this. It always changes. Depends on what they're going to record. If maybe there's a choir that is going to record, we move some stuff, then we put some other stuff inside. Yes.
We've heard a lot about the studio, but now we would really love to know about the man behind the studio, which is you. Tell us where this love for being in studio, scriptwriter, voiceover artist, all began.
It all started at school, high school. I remember I was in grade 9. I used to write short stories, and poems. I used to be a soccer player. I loved soccer. My whole life I played soccer. I played soccer. I thought maybe I was going to be somewhere. But apparently one of my teachers told me that I'm going to be a writer one day. So I took it lightly, because as a young person, there are goals that you set different from the goals that I'm living now.
Yes.
So she told me that you are going to be a writer, because by seeing the essays that I was writing, by seeing the poems that I was writing, that's where the love of writing started. And I was also doing stand-up comics at school, emceeing, doing everything. So along the run, we met again.
So this is what has become of
Yes,
you.
yes.
So your journey, what challenges have you overcome? How have you overcome them? I mean, there's so many of other artists there who'd like to, follow your footsteps. How do you get to this point?
If you are passionate about something, follow it, stick to it, no matter who will say you are not good enough to do this. But you know deep inside your heart, when maybe I'm doing something, I'm good at it. I can't be a taxi driver while I know I can't drive. So it grows with passion and love. I do what I love. I love what I do. So that's one thing that gets me here. Every day I get inspired by seeing a lot of young artists that are coming in here, in and out of here, trying to do some demos and stuff. So sometimes I give them advice. This is how
We should do things.
Yes, we should do things. You have to be patient. Work hard, and be patient. If you're not patient, you won't get anywhere.
And so also, how do you manage your artists?
How do I manage my artist? Yeah, yes. How do I do it? If you've got a record label like I do, a small record stable, it's the same way as you are a parent to your artist. You have to give them time, and you have to listen to them, and they have to listen to you. So if I work with you as an artist, you don't listen to me, maybe our dialogue doesn't go anywhere, and I see that working with you is a waste of time. Then that's whereby I'll be saying, let's cut our losses. But I work with people that are humble, one, people that are respectful, two, and people that know that I should respect some other person, so that person can respect me back. Yeah, that's the people that I work with. And time management also, because I've got a lot of things that I'm doing. Every time I leave the studio, I go home, cook for my kids and my wife, because I'm also married. And then after that, I sit down and check all my emails, whether there's somebody I should meet and stuff. If there's something I should do in the studio, I go and meet with my artist. That's how I manage my artist. If an artist got a problem, they call me. And I get a lot of artists that want me to manage them. Some are artists that are coming up. Some are artists that are already there in the industry. So I choose which project can I put him to. It's like maybe you come for an interview, I have to check for a space for you. So I might get that artist before I can sign him in my label. I have to check which market I can sell him to. So that's where I can sign him and manage him. But if I see that I can't manage this one, then I pass it over. I'll tell you straight, no, you have to work hard on this and that and that. These are the people you can work with. Me.
You're doing a whole lot of things. Does everything, does it ever affect your personal relationships? Meaning, do you have enough time for your family, for your patients, and so forth?
I do have enough time, but sometimes I don't. Depends on my schedule. So my schedule every day, I love my kids. And I love my couch at home.
Okay.
I enjoy my couch at home. Every time when I leave work, depends whether after work I've got another work. If I don't have another work, I go straight home. I sit with my kids. I love cooking. I've got the passion of cooking. So I can say 90% in my house, I'm the one who's cooking. So if I find time in my house. So I try. But every day I sleep at home, except when I'm doing away gigs. That's why I'm not home.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, we are at Atomic Garden Studios with Talitha Cumi News Report, and this is Pretty Smith.